I started the recording so I can post this tomorrow. All right, I need to do a couple of quick tests. I think I got everything working. I switched machines since the last stream. Okay, I am going to make sure that the audio is coming through. It looks like it is. It looks a little high. Let's go down a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. Probably. Okay. And all right, and it is coming through. All right. Now to post to Discord to make sure anyone who cares to know knows. That was the wrong window for that to be on. Oh well. Announcements. Everyone's a user, yeah. All right. Well, welcome everyone. This is the first live stream of the new year, and I don't really have a lot of like new features to walk through. It's going to be like a Hacknight kind of thing. If you put something in the chat that's broken and you want it fixed, I will focus on that one for the evening. Otherwise, I do have a couple issues with obviously vehicles are not doing great, so we're gonna focus on that. So yeah, if you've watched previous streams, you'll see that I am using a completely different operating system. So I spent part of the day just making sure I could get a stream going from here. So hopefully everything's working. One thing that did happen was I forgot to back up my saves for Knights of the Republic 2, so we will not be shifting to that after. I have to see if I have it accidentally through like a my documents dump from when I wiped this machine. So okay, so we have a couple of issues that came up recently. We are going to go and try to get those. All right, Mr. Splinty. I should probably go to older ones that I haven't fixed yet instead of doing the brand new ones. I don't think I'm up for doing a dark mode tonight, but that does need to happen soon because I also would really like that. That I did fix. Okay, I did fix the issue where you were getting a general feat when you're an extra general feat while multi-classing, I think. Yep, there it is. There's that fix. It has not been committed yet, so let's commit that real quick. Oh, and apparently I don't have my AI stuff set up on here, which I have been using just for commit messages because it keeps doing bad. It's not doing a good job when it does do stuff, so I'm, not a huge fan of it yet. So JetBrains does have their own AI called Junie, and I did have her do a plan. She didn't actually do the V13 uplift. She gave me a plan of how to do it, and went through documentation and suggested things that needed to be done. And she got about 60% of it correct. So, yeah, if you think that AI is out for your job and you're a software developer, probably not. Not for a couple of years at least. They at least have to get off of LLMs and move on to something a little more. Yeah, here we go. To fix issue where multi-classing granted. There you go. One AI chat. I don't think I need that right now. I don't know. They're shoving so much AI stuff into everything that I'm not always sure what I actually want or need. So maybe I'll play with it later. Alrighty. And I know I have the chat somewhere so I can actually see it. Where'd it go? I also do have Discord up, so if people are posting in Discord, I should see it. Oh, the Lubriderm. Hello. There. Now I have the chat up so I can actually see. Let's pop that out so I can put it right next to. There we go. Oh, no, I actually did want that window. Why is it? Oh, it doesn't let me have that as a separate window? That's interesting. The wonders of Linux, folks. No, so far, yeah, so I did switch over to Linux recently due to there being a bunch of new Windows features that were essentially just like this very big brothery stuff. Like they're just recording everything you do now, and I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like I'm doing anything illegal. It just they don't need that. Also, I discovered that Windows. This machine has like 36 gigs of RAM. Somehow this computer, just Windows, was using like 6 gigs of it to run. That makes no sense. The Lubriderm, do you have a specific bug that you want fixed tonight? Because since you're here, you get to suggest one. And I know I think we have one more person in that's viewing who is being quiet, which is okay. You can be quiet. Okay, so I'm going to get started working on. Let's see, armor proficiency feats, I think was the one that you had, which was my next one anyways. So what I need to do is I need to create a new tag. And for that, so I actually have to switch over to IntelliJ real quick. Just to make sure I'm not like creating tags that don't exist here. Actually, how is acts as being used? Because maybe I use that for this too, so I'm not creating more stuff here. Acts as for proficiency. Yeah, I think acts as might just be the. Yeah. Item subtype. Does that already work then? Because subtypes are specifically one of the things that acts as does work on. Well, let's give it a try. Shield armor check pen, but that's not a bug. Yeah. Yeah, I did see you mention that. I appreciate it. Yeah, the vehicles have been left alone for a bit, or had been left alone for a bit, just because there's so many things in the system that are a little too complex. Like playing the game is fine. And actually, I think I was listening to the Dark Times podcast, and it's an older episode because obviously they've moved on to Starfinder 2. But they're talking about how the game is designed for players to have a ton of options and not for the GM to be able to run the game. Which, once they said that, I'm like, oh, that explains my entire experience with this game. And I love this game, but like, there's so many like very niche nooks and crannies to this game where generalized code doesn't really work. Okay. So let's see. We need to go look at. Use the ships and make my own weapons and utilize the changes in modes tab. It seems to work great until the regular vehicle sheets work. Yeah, you can get a lot. You can get very far with that. I just don't. I prefer they actually work though. I mean, obviously. Oh boy. Let's see. Armor class penalty is it actually has its own thing now. All right, generate armor check penalties from the actor, and it's getting the armor proficiency. Okay, and we're going to grab let acts as equal get inheritable attribute. This get inheritable attribute is kind of the backbone of the system, and I would like to redo it very much, but every time I do, I find like things that I've assumed in places that I cannot do it for those reasons. Attribute key. But it's getting there. So one of the things that I've added is the ability to have like structured objects in attributes or in changes, as they're called now. So they used to be called attributes in here. Now they're called changes. That's why this is still called attribute key. This acts as. We want it to be the values. So yeah, it's going to have the ability to have like ammo, for instance, has a specific. How do you spell value? Oh, there we go. Ammo has a specific structure. Certain things have certain structures. So I'm making it support that now. Okay, so for armor check penalty specifically, if okay, so that's the proficiency. This is checking to see if anything is acting as light, medium, or heavy armor. This is getting the. Oh, that's the old way of doing that. I can probably fix that too. For each armor item, it's checking to see if it's wearing those things. Okay, I know I have a guide for uplifting from here. So that's getting all of the equipped items. Oh, I know I wanted to get rid of equipped items by type. No, that's not it. Let's break that out into a variable. Armor items. Okay, we're going to go through each armor item. And actually, what if we instead went and mapped this to, for each armor item, we are going to return the a.system.subtype. Did I spell that right? Okay, good. And this is going to be a string. That's an interesting choice. No, it is just string. Alright, so for each... okay, so you have those... armor, and instead of this... Okay, so then what we can do, we take armor items, and we're going to, that's an array, so we're going to, crap, this is JavaScript. Is it push? Yeah, it's push. Push. There we go. Yeah, this week at work I've been writing mostly SQL, C Sharp, and Python. So like now I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so that's going to take all the armor items and go and put them in this array. It's going to add the acts as anything in acts as, and it's going to check if it's heavy armor, medium armor, or light armor, and I'll add it to that array as well. And then it's going to act as that here. Now the one thing is, okay, so if I remember correctly, these bypass proficiency for armor check penalty. So let me grab the energy shields. So I think that's going to have to be its own thing anyways. But this should take care of if it make it so you can easily, if you're wearing this, it's going to act like heavy armor now, as long as it has that tag, which I do need to update those to have the tag. Suit of armor as, here I'm looking at, this is what I'm looking at. Character always takes the armor check penalty associated with the energy shield while it is activated. Okay. So let's go back to I need to make sure I actually am doing this, and this, or actually creating the change so that I'm not like creating it in one place and not the other. This is the wrong file to add this to. Why am I doing that? Okay. Okay, so this needs to be energy oh, I forgot a comma up here. Java needs commas. Okay. Energy shield armor type. Energy shield. There we go. Alright. So this is the key I am then going to look for. Okay, so it's going to handle anything that uses acts as that way, which I want to do anyways. And then we want to get okay, so then I need to check this array to see if it contains. Okay, so down here all I need to do is, and there might be a better way of doing this, I'm sure there is, or if wearing heavy armor and not proficient in heavy armor, or energy shield armor type, let's put an S on there so it's plural. I like that. There we go. Or this, is it includes or, right? It's includes, right? It's not contains in JavaScript. Or if this includes heavy armor. Okay. Yeah, this could use a bit of an overhaul, but this is going to work as is and not be a problem. Includes medium armor. Okay. Grab that. There we go, and this needs to be light armor. Okay. Okay, that's being called up there. I'm going to bring that down here because I'm not using it up there. And there we go. All right. And I do need to add more tests, but I'm going to try to move fast tonight and fix a bunch of bugs. So I am going to do that, and I'm going to try it out. Let's start up Foundry. And yes, this is the recommended way to run it on Linux. I'm not sure exactly what all I can do with PM2, but it does have some nice stuff for running processes. I haven't used it beyond this, so okay. Debug on port 3000, and there we go. Okay. All right, we have 1B medical droid. We want to add. Actually, is energy shield in here? There we go. We'll do the SR30 so it's obvious. Okay, so this does count as armor, heavy armor right now. So right now it should have, yeah, has the armor check penalty. Okay, but we don't actually want that. We have new stuff to try out. So we're going to do, so like add a mode on the shield item and add energy shield type armor and add true. Yeah, close, except it would be energy shield armor type and then heavy armor. So, and these are I'm going to update these as well so that they reflect that, so that they have that toggle and everything. Yeah, so it's still going to count as, does it still count as heavy armor when it's turned off? That's the question I need to answer before. Otherwise, this can't be heavy armor anymore. Yeah, this may just not act as armor anymore then, if that's the case. I gotta look at what the rules say here. A normal shielding, an energy shield. Deal energy damage. Okay, so I think from this, it does act as its armor type all the time, so you still need to have the proficiency. I think on the website it says it does not give the penalty even if you're not proficient while it's turned off. That doesn't, so this part seems to say the opposite. Takes the armor check penalty associated with it when it is activated. Each type of energy shield imposes its max dex bonus restriction only when activated and not when worn and inert. Okay, so the max dex bonus does need to move to the mode that I'm going to add. But I think it should stay of that armor type and then also have that new tag on there. Or I was thinking is the check penalty doesn't apply when it's not active. A character, oh, you know, maybe. A character with an active energy shield without, oh, it does say active right here. Without the, okay, so this only does anything, it only does anything when it's turned on. So you can wear one of these things turned off without an issue, without any sort of feats. Okay. That's cool. It'll just be equipment then, and equipment I still need to work on the system for equipment having modes showing up on the sheet in an easy to use way, but that's not a big deal. Um, the energy shield confers that benefit only when it is active. So this part's going to be complicated. So if you add an armor template, it need onto. If you add an armor template to an energy shield, it needs to recognize that it can be used on the energy shield, and that it needs to be added to the mode instead. Okay, I think I need a new armor subtype called energy shield, and then everything just all of the stuff about its armor type needs to go onto the mode. Couldn't figure out the penalty activation. Yeah, that's because it was tied specifically to. Yeah, the reason that you couldn't figure that out like as a change is because it's tied to the item type right now, and there isn't a way to do that. I think actually the proficiency modifier, the acts as for proficiency tag, should work for that already. So let's see what we can do by building this in directly here in Foundry. So we're going to do new equipment. We're going to do this custom energy field. Let's do shield. Okay. And naturally, apparently that doesn't show anymore. That's no good. Ooh. That is gibberish. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of work I still need to do to get V13 stuff figured out, but... And Polyglot is not working at the moment. Okay. Okay, well, I need to fix that. Do I have a checklist open? I do not. Okay, fix new equipment field. There we go. Okay. So we have this piece of equipment here. This needs to be... I think I want it to be armor. Ooh. The type of document can be changed only if the system field is force replaced or updated with recursive false. I thought I fixed this already. SWSE update source. Wait, what? Why am I here? I don't want to be here. I want... I think that fix was for the use in Vong. Yes, it was. It was for the use in Vong. Okay, I think what I might need to do is add a options dot recursive. I'm wondering now if that's going to like break something else, but huh. What do you, I can't restart it in debug? That's weird. Hey, there we go. Alright, so these are the kinds it currently has. That needs to include energy shield. So let's go add an energy shield. Energy shield, there we go. That should work. Since we have that, that'll be equipable. That'll show up as a piece of armor on the sheet. Okay, I'm going to refresh one more time and make sure everything Yeah, I don't know why it's... I don't know. I would like to debug. I don't know why it's telling me I already have one. I know that. I want to restart it. Not important. Okay, new equipment. It is counting as that. And now I have energy shield. And let's go. Custom energy shield. Alright. We don't need a picture. We can maybe, I do need to get more icons for stuff like that. Okay. We do. Is this the correct? I don't hate this one. Oh, this actually might be just better than the editor I made. Okay. We're gonna... So we have an activate now. Yeah, that's actually much better. There's something wrong that's blocking the one I made, but this one actually looks... I just have to fix some of the visuals and it'll look great. Okay, so we have an activate, and that activate is going to have things like acts as heavy armor. And now I gotta double check myself because I'm like 80% sure. Yeah, okay, it does use the American spelling of armor. Not sure why I wasn't sure, but okay, so that is equipped. So, and I said that was going to act as heavy armor. If I look here, we should have... Yeah, okay, so this should be showing up already. Uh-oh. That's interesting. Huh. It's still unequipped. Oh, thank you. Yep, that'd do it. Also, this should be able to activate too. That's I should be able to edit it while it's deactivated. Oh, because it, yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't be doing that, though. Okay, well, let's try equipping it and see if I can toggle it on here. That's not how it... It is supposed to show up there now. Does armor not show up here anymore? Did that get... It can only be edited while it's deactivated so far. Okay. Huh. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Okay, well, let's fix that too. That is in templates actor sheet, and I don't remember weapon. Weapon armor summary. It's probably because this is a very outdated version of this. And this is not... Okay. Yeah, it looks like it only can be edited while active, which should not be the case. You should be able to, like, change that. Okay. And that does each attack. How do I get all of my armor? I think it's just... It might just be armors. Like if I do this, it might work, actually. But I need to double check something quick. Get armors. Equip.filter by type. Yeah. That is exactly where it is. Okay. So now if I refresh this... Yep, now we have armor showing up here again. It does not have that. It does not have toggles at the moment. But we can do that. Speed. Why is speed on there? I know it's on the original sheet. Oh, it's because this changes that. It probably doesn't need to be there, though. Okay. And then, oh, and the shield rating will show up there. Okay. Not proficient. Yes. Yeah, no, that I knew. I couldn't remember why speed specifically was showing up in the armor block, and I think that's specifically because on the sheet they encourage you to write it in there. And I pretty much just copied everything I saw on the sheet because I'm like, well, if people are used to playing the game with the sheet, maybe it should look like that. That's better. There you go. Okay, and this isn't even like, you can see that these are formatted totally different. It hasn't been working for a long time. Okay, let's go ahead and we're gonna make a thing. We're gonna make it look a lot more like the weapon block and how that's currently handled. So that looks like that. This is weapon block. We want one called armor block. Parts. Item entry. Oh, it's in attack. Why did I put an attack? That's weird. Okay. Do armor block. And add the toggles, add the actor, and this should just be armor. Okay, so we want this information on there, but we want it to look more like this. If oh yeah, we should do that. Okay, if armor okay. Okay. I don't need the attack key. I don't need any of this actually. Resource armor panel. Panel resource armor. I don't think you can get armor from a vehicle, so we'll get rid of that. Was the thing I just removed the thing that lets you toggle the... I think it was. Data attack key, data type attack, data image, data label. Huge label input. Input. We want this to be armor name and armor subtype, I believe. We want this to go in right here. It's going to be armor, not... It's going to be armor, it's not going to be an attack. I don't need this button. Do that so that it can see the toggle. And then I think what I have up there is essentially what I need to move down here. And I'm going to skip speed. I don't think I need speed. Okay, and armor modes. Some of this might not be exposed yet. Armor. Oh, this can have ammunition. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to leave this on here and just have to make sure that I wire that up eventually. I don't think that's going to make everything work, but that's a good start at least. Labeled input. Okay, so those are a slightly different format. All right, we shouldn't have a tax in here anymore. Okay, well, let's see where that takes us. Okay, actually, this does need to be armor, though. Okay. Yeah, adding ammo to it isn't that hard. It just right now the only item type that supports it is weapons. Uh-oh, I really broke something. One of original or other are not objects. Oh, I need to register this as a valid. This needs to be registered so that it can be loaded. Go. All right, what do I do? Yeah, that shouldn't do it. Okay, maybe that was it. Nope. Okay. Armor block is under parts. Do I have the path right here? Actor parts. Oh. That would do it. Actor part. Okay. Oh. Hey, there we go. Okay, well the formatting's shit, but that's totally fine. It looks like it's a row instead of a column. Flex column. Display grid. Yeah, I don't want to have that. Collapsible container, flex, and that's the flex row. Okay. There we go. Custom energy shield, and I think that's fine for now. Yeah, that's not, that should probably be showing up, but I think what actually is being sent to it isn't the real item. Yeah, I don't know what this does. Oh, there we go. That's what it does. Okay, so then I need to figure out, I need to probably get rid of this generate armor block thing, because I don't think I'm going to use it. Oh, that's actually kind of a handy little thing, though. Armor block. Weapon block. Okay, in here, it's doing the attacks. Maybe I do want to keep that translation layer in there. I think what I really need though is first I need to grab a beer. All right, it is nearly 9 o'clock. I have not checked. Looks like there's the Lubriderm. It looks like you are not alone. It appears there's somebody else here. So I'm going to ask: is there anything else that you would like to, either of you would like to know, ask about, anything like that? And I lost the window I was looking at. There we go. It really isn't that much work. It's more so I'd be moving a lot faster if this is something I had more time to work on. Oh no. I forgot these explode a little bit. It's just these are systems I haven't used in a bit, so I have to rebuild a lot of this. Not from scratch, but so for instance, this labeled input thing is what makes those fields all look pretty with the little label on top of the field like that, and these do not have that at the moment. So okay, so what needs to be on armor? We need to have the modes. That's one thing that's important. That looks like it should show up okay once that gets fixed. Ammunition probably needs to be modified to handle like a default ammunition that can't be replenished, because I think these just have 5 uses and die. Oh no, the ammo is going to turn into a uses thing. It's okay. It can do both. I made that system pretty versatile. So, yum. Okay, well let's at least make this look nice and say all the things it needs to say. So what's actually going to happen now is I think I want to go back to where I was generating that item block. No. Actor. Is it an actor? Yeah, generate armor block. This probably shouldn't be here. This was. Is it using the actor? Oh, it is. Okay, I don't care about the speed anymore. So what I'm actually going to do, though... Ooh, do I want to? I don't know. Let's just get rid of that for now. Armor name. Ref defense, max dex. This is on the item. Per power pack. So you can put a power pack into that as ammunition? Okay, then I'll probably just not expand that for right now. I was under the impression you couldn't recharge these things, and they were like disposable, more or less. No. Do I have another... Wait, do I still have that game open? How? That game, for reference, is called Deck of Haunts. It plays like Slay the Spire meets Dungeons. It's very, very fun. Brain, finish your thought. Yeah, it's closed. I don't know why it's still doing that. That's pretty wild. Oh, there's the window I'm looking for. Okay, I don't see where it says you can recharge them, but that doesn't mean you can't. I think I'm going to treat them as rechargeable for now, and then possibly in the future make them so you can't, but and it'll be essentially, if you want to make it so you can recharge them, you'll just have to put the ammo type in there and it will work fine. But okay, reflex defense, fort defense, max dexterity, That all actually should work correctly already once the modes are working. I am going to reformat those though, so they look pretty. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go to, oh boy, weapon armor summary, armor block. So these things here are wrong, and they need to look like this thing here. So what we're going to do is take this. None of that needs to be there. It just needs to be a labeled input. There. Now it'll look prettier. Dang it. So that's fort defense, max dex, and I'm going to keep notes off for now, I think. Oh, wait, no, notes will be down here. And it will have to provide notes text and notes HTML the same way that web attacks do. I think that's a good way to do that. I think for now that means I need to go to... Okay, so before I forget that, let me finish this part of it. Oh wait, I wanted these... It used to have the little plus in there. I don't know how helpful that is. I think I just try to copy the sheet. Okay, that should look all pretty. I'm going to remove this one so it's not going to put notes in there anymore, and notes will have to come down here like that. Okay, let's try this. Now if we come down here, yep, now they'll show up all pretty like that. I do need to check to see how I make them stretch like that, though, because I would like them to do that. No, I need F12, and we're going to highlight this thing here. Oh, it's just a flex row. Why is it? I thought mine was a flex row already. Huh. Oh, it's not. It's because it's not a flex row. Do I need both? I don't know. This might include flex already. Yeah, it does. Okay. Noted. No, a bunch of the younger developers I work with, the web developers, are like, yeah, nobody uses CSS style sheets anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're putting everything inline. I'm like, that can't be the correct way of doing that. I'm gonna laugh my ass off one time when they join one of these streams and I'm making fun of them. Okay, so I think that should have fixed that. Let's try refreshing real quick. Okay, we scroll down here, and there it is. That's very pretty. Okay. If I do that, minimizes. Okay, cool. Notes should be showing up, though, so what I need to do is go to that weapon block thing. I do kind of want to refactor that. I don't want that living in actor anymore. I want that in item, but I'm going to leave it for now, I think, because it is relying on the actor for understanding proficiency. Yeah, this thing. Wait. Parent is proficient with armor is just called on the armor. It doesn't rely on it for that. Okay. So wait, what is actor used for? It's not. Okay. Huh. Okay. Well, anyways, we need to add a notes HTML is just it's just going to be the same thing for right now, but we can we'll use this later. This is a special tool that we can use later. I was at work talking to one of my coworkers about all of the shows that my son likes, and one of them was Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And in that show, that's where the meme that's a special tool that we'll use later comes from. And that was the first time I was watching it. One of my other much younger coworkers says, "Oh, I used to watch that." That's when I realized just how old that show was, or I guess just how young some of my coworkers are. Yeah, Mouse Tools, exactly. I've watched way too many kids' cartoons over the last couple of years. Okay, so that is the notes going there, notes going there. Notes HTML, notes text, perfect. So that should show up correctly now. Apparently I can't use the refresh debug with my setup. I have no idea what's different here, but it doesn't work. Not proficient. Okay, that's a good note to have. That probably should say, though, custom energy shield NA. Okay, let's go figure out why it's doing that. Name, armor, then armor type. Armor type. I'm going to call this subtype. And I'm going to go over to where that's being... Oh, it's in defense. That kind of makes sense. Okay. So within here, we need to have the... Yeah, I'm just going to change this to armor subtype because that's more consistent with what it is. Okay, so armor type is generated over here. Ah, I see what it's doing. Why did I... Oh, I'm trying to figure out why I didn't do this in a nicer way. It's because you can strip things to make them more heavy. Okay, if armor type equals... Wait, am I supposed to be using single quote? No, I'm in JavaScript. I can use either. Doesn't matter. Okay, energy shield. You know what, actually, to make this more expandable in case I find another type of armor I want to use, we're just going to return the armor type if one of these doesn't pan out. Attribute key or the subtype. Yeah, so way back when there was a armor type key. My wife is also a Disney super fan. We went to Disney World for our honeymoon. We went again with her mom 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago. Then we went with my parents the previous January. And then she went again this year. She likes Disney World. I also like Disney World. I went as a kid. I had a great time. It's just she likes going way more than I do. Yeah, that should probably do it. Custom energy shield. Now it isn't doing anything correctly. Okay. What'd I do? How'd I break it? Armor type. Get armor type. Here. Subtype. When it puts it in there, is it putting it with a capitalized? Your wife is a Disney content creator. My wife might follow your wife on if she's on Instagram. she follows a lot of different Disney content creators. Yeah, the last time we went, she was like showing me all the hidden Mickeys because she had watched a video showing her where all of them were. Let's see. Oh, it's up here. Armor.subtype. Apparently that's not working. Armor.subtype. Got too many things open. Let's close some of this stuff so I don't have to keep hunting for everything. Rosie's Magical World. Very possibly. That one does sound familiar. It's to use a phrase, it's a small world. I'm done. I'm kind of proud of that joke, but not that proud. Okay. Why is that? Armor subtype. Why is that not being set? That's in defense. Oh, hell, that should work. Maybe I just need a refresh. Maybe I just didn't refresh before checking. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be. Okay, well, the next step is to actually do some proper debugging. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds like it would be a fun costume to wear, though. No, I have. There are many photos out there of me dressed up as random things. I mean, actually, even my the icon I use for everything, that is actually a picture of me. I used to cosplay as Deadpool regularly, and that was my. I went to the Kansas City Planet Comic Con one year, and they had a Jane, like from the Jane from Firefly. They had his hat, and I got one, and I wore that hat very proudly the rest of it. Not for a thick dude. I mean, I don't know. It still sounds fun. Um, I'll take your word for it. It's very funny. No, I had to stop. I had to stop dressing up as Deadpool when the girdle no longer was working. um, nobody wants to see this in spandex. I mean, no one ever did, but now I feel like I'm doing a disservice to everyone. Okay, let's try this one more time. No, I don't. Ah, well, that would do it. And why is that? Yeah, I don't think a lot of this stuff works anymore. Okay. That should work though. Custom energy shield, type, armor. Okay, but why isn't the subtype working? I could have sworn I had that set. Okay. Oh wait, that's the wrong. Ah! There are multiple things in this operating system that are like supposed to be really easy to get to, and I just keep accidentally hitting them and making my whole screen go nuts. I have not. I'm getting used to it. It is once I'm getting used to things, they are better. But okay, so I could have sworn that this actually had a working subtype. So if I go to equipment, if I go to custom energy shield, it is it says armor type. Wait, what? Armor type is appendages apparently. Yeah, that's weird. Uh there is something going on that I do not understand yet. If I close that and I open it, will it? Oh, now it's not equipped anymore. Interesting. Oh, and it went back to light armor. Okay. Let's see. Oh boy. Is there an error that I'm not aware of that's happening when I do that? Too lowercase. That would do it. This, I thought too. Oh, I think I know I did. Where's that item MJS? Item. Yeah, this could be bad because that's being used everywhere. Why? line 526. Maybe it's just null? Oh, okay. It's checking if it's proficient. Okay, so this needs to... Oh, here, let's do... It can only return a string. Enough with these shenanigans. There we go. Where can it return multiple things? Is that the right? I think that's right. Does JavaScript has null coalescing, right? Yeah, probably. It's fine. Okay, that's just gone. Oh, because it's not equipped anymore. Alright, is that still broken? Well, it's bad. It's re-equipped. That's all polyglot issues, which, yeah, I gotta fix that, but that is not the task at hand. Custom energy shield. You know what? I don't even think droids can droids even use these? Because I know they have their own custom, like their own droid special ones. I mean, maybe they can. I don't know. Maybe they don't have 5 uses. They're unlimited. You know, my wife is checking in, seeing how things are going. Okay. She took on all of the put down for the evening, so I think the droid one is a separate upgrade you can get for a droid. I think this is just a purchasable piece of equipment that anyone can use, like an Apple Watch. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that the droid ones are droid specific, but these ones are for everybody. Okay, that's the perk. That's a pretty good perk. That the droid one has unlimited uses. That's yeah. I am really surprised. I have 2 droids in my campaign, and neither of them are using like energy shields of any kind. They've never pursued them. Maybe I'll just leave like a broken one as loot that they can salvage and rebuild or something. Okay. All right, so that's showing up. That means that's showing up here. Yep. It's coming back as NA. That's kind of weird. Okay. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to use the little boy's room and possibly grab another beverage. There we go. I also have a droid in my campaign, and he purchased a few of the equipment ones that sparked the idea. Yeah, that makes sense. No, one of the droids in my campaign is the guy, the player playing him. He actually read the rules to the game before playing, and he's run Pathfinder for me in the past. I'd love being in his campaigns. I wish he would run one. I'd love to play another one. And he does a really good job. And so I thought he probably would have found it by now, but he did a custom droid, and his icon is a like weird I think it's called GE3 protocol droid. But he replaced the head with a T3 droid, Astro droid. And the other one is a good friend of mine who I'm pretty sure he did not read the rules, and he assumed it was just Pathfinder with lightsabers. And I mean, he's not totally wrong; it's pretty close. But here, did you not eat dinner when you had a chance? No. Okay. Okay. So the issue now is that when I open this up, this is light armor again. Why is this not saving? Subtype should be saving. Oh boy. How do I'm trying to remember how I have that set up. So if I go here, I'm going to check on this select system.subtype. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's on the item sheet. That's where I need to look, though. Yeah, this really isn't as complicated as it looks. It's that, I mean, I think most of the most complicated stuff is stuff I have done trying to hack my way through, not exactly understanding how Foundry worked when I started writing this stuff, and now I'm trying to like move closer to like the standard way of doing it. It's one of these here. What is? It is a select. Doesn't have anything. I was able to change the type earlier. You have good. You have an HK50 droid. Are you running an Old Republic campaign or like a Dark Times campaign where somebody found one of these? Because honestly, that'd be fun too. I really want to run a dark. Is it dark? Yeah, Dark Times campaign, like Rebellion era, with like some like old clones. I think that'd be really fun. And I actually was thinking if I ever finish the campaign I'm running currently, the old Republic one, I would absolutely love to run a Clone Wars campaign, but like as a what's it called? A West Marches style, where I just say, okay guys, the Clone Wars are happening, and I get like 20 of my friends and say, whenever you guys want, get a group together, show up, and we'll do a battle. Like, I think that'd be really fun. Dawn of Defiance. Okay, yeah. He is stolen from an antiques dealer by one of the other player characters and rebuilt. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good backstory. Okay, so that's subtype. Let's get over to type here. Yeah, I think a Clone Wars or a Dark Times or a Rebellion era West Marches would be really fun. And one specific encounter I would love to run. There's training sequences in a lot of the shows. Like the Domino Squad arc from the Clone Wars comes to mind, where they have to do that kind of thing to get to the goal. And I think Young Jedi has one too. I watch a lot of Young Jedi with my kid. He's getting into it. But no, that why is that not working? Wait, select type yeah. Okay. But yeah, they have like the training sequences, like the battle rooms, and I want to run like if for the Clone Wars you just do a normal one, but I think if you do the Dark Times or Rebellion era proper, you could do like you find an old one and it's like dilapidated and broken down, and I think that would be absolutely fun to run. I think the Dark Times podcast actually did it at one of their last couple episodes, mentioned that as an idea. And I think that'd be really cool. So why is that one working? Okay. Do I just have it on select doing it? So what I'm looking for right now is these are all trying to find HTML elements by descriptors, and I can't find the one that's actually active on those dropdowns. But that's what this little HTML.find thing is. It's trying to find elements by a description, and then it's adding actual functionality to those controls. Maybe is it something based in, it'd be an item sheet. Yeah, item sheet. Wait, this is the same thing I was just in. Why is it not? Oh, I can't get to the Foundry one. For some reason I don't have that imported. What in the world? But like, I thought I had Steam closed. Why is it? It is closed. I don't know. I think my next big campaign, though, might be Starfinder 2. I've been picking up the books, and I really like the system, and it does a lot of things really, really well. I think you could do a really good adaptation of it for Star Wars, but using the... So instead of like species, they have ancestries, which are... They're essentially species, but they're a little more versatile. So like if you have... So you have things called versatile ancestries, and those are like for characters who aren't like normal versions of their species. They were raised somewhere else, kind of thing. And I think that is a not like I'm super. Yeah, I mean it is. I picked up the first edition book, so I got somewhere over here. Is that on the camera? No, it's completely yeah. So directly to my side here, if I do this, these are all these are all either programming books or tabletop books. Yeah, I did pick up the first edition way back when it came out. Never got to play it. Loved everything I was reading, and then yeah, when the Dark Times podcast switched over to it, I started listening and going, you know what? That sounds like a really fun universe to just play in. Like, there's so much cool stuff. Alrighty, what am I looking? I'm looking for. How does it do that? If I do this. Open this, and there we go. And All right, so change elements. On select, it does on change input. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I think I may have overridden this. So if I go back to my item, do I have this? I don't, so I'm using the vanilla one. Okay, so I'm going to go back there. This. I can put a breakpoint right there. And I can change this to energy shield and then go see what it's doing. Current target matches Pro's mirror. I have no idea what that is, but I don't think it does. So we're just going to go to the next one. Yeah, it does not. I don't know what this Pro's mirror thing is, but I probably should figure that out because it looks like it might be very useful. What is the type? The type is a select. It is not color, it's select one. Submit unchanged true. Okay. On submit event. We go in. Where are we now? Okay. We're still there. State 2. What is state 2? State 2 is rendered. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Starfinder does have some canon, but like it's more of a, hey, this event happened at one point. Like I think the Gap is the one that comes to mind, where it's such a nebulous, like nobody knows what it is, and I think they're doing novels to explain it, but essentially it's like there's no living memory and there's no recorded history from this time, and suddenly everyone just realized, wait, we don't remember what happened during this, and also Galorian's gone. Like the planet from Pathfinder, if you're not familiar. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that where it's like they set up more like there's less stories that they told already. There's more like vague plot points to hit. Which, yeah, I mean, none of my players are most of my players are Star Wars fans, but they're not mad. They don't get mad about continuity and stuff, and so that has been pretty easy. Like I think we've been actually dipping into both Disney, like we've been dipping into like conflicting Disney and EU canon, just because why not? As far as I'm concerned, they're just different perspectives of the same thing, and I'll take the cool stuff from both. I don't care. Buddy, what's up? What's going on? Do you need another one of these? Is that what you need? There you go. Okay, the update data. Is update data null? Why is update data null? Process the form data on change input. Okay, so it's not a form. Update object. I think that's a good way to handle it. Yeah, treating the future as kind of malleable for them. Um, that's a good way of doing it. Because and I struggle with this too. Like for a while, I kept trying to like match everything I was doing to something that was already written, and that's really hard to write a fun campaign. Um, and like, why shouldn't I just have a planet with medieval knights riding dinosaurs? Like that's fucking fun. It's cool. I don't need to. Uh, I shouldn't worry about. Oh well, that there's no planet like that in Star Wars. I don't care. And I think I'm getting better with that. Um, huh. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I'm getting better with that. Sam Witwer was talking about it, about like continuity and stuff, and he said, um, "Stop worrying about continuity. Just assume that everything every story you're hearing from Star Wars is told by somebody, and um, like they aren't all telling you exactly what happened. It's all like." Legends is called Legends because they're stories that were told and they're not quite coherent. And he did a better job of. He's a much more eloquent man than I am, but. Wow, I'm using a lot of memory. What the fuck am I using so much memory for? Well, this thing has like 20 times this on it, so I'm just gonna like go. Boop. What's the next one? 96? 48 and 48 is 96, right? Yeah. We're just gonna restart that. Yeah, and I keep using that mentioning that Sam Witwer doesn't care about continuity just because he's definitely a Star Wars super fan at this point. Like he's clearly a super fan in addition to having played two different characters in Star Wars. So I think he's a good. And he corrected. I forget who he corrected, but Dave Filoni during Clone Wars he corrected him on one of the continuity. He was like Dave Filoni was creating a continuity error in the Clone Wars TV show, and Sam Witwer's like, no, those characters have already met. Do you remember this episode? Or was it this episode? I don't know. Maybe it was one of the movies. I don't know, but it had already happened. Oh, it was that Padme hadn't met Shmi Skywalker, and it's like, no, that happened in episode 1, dude. Which, I think you could be forgiven for forgetting something that simple. Like, there's so much stuff going on in those stories. Okay. We are back. It's up. We have more RAM than ever. How do I remove that? Well, I don't see a way to like ban from the chat. I should probably have that ability, but I don't see it. Oh, there you go. Mod view. No, I don't want to watch a tutorial. I just want to remove this bot. Oh, apparently it's gone, so I can't ban it. Okay, I don't care. There you go. Alright, so I need to be able to go back here, go to here. Don't care about that one now. Yeah, but I specifically set my campaign after the Dark Wars, so after Knights of the Republic 2, because I mean, at least the people I had at the start of the campaign, none of them had played KOTOR or 2, and I thought, well, I would love to just play around with that story anyways. Why not? And they all seem to enjoy it. Okay, so I do that. But yeah, I mean, I think I think it's kind of nice to do that just because, yeah, you have all the ability to like play with whatever you want. Because there's just comics and books and stuff after that. But I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the ones that like the follow-ups to Knights of the Republic 2 were not great. I thought they did kind of a disservice to the original story in some ways. I'm sure there are some good ones, but the ones I read and stumbled upon were not I did not enjoy very much. I think I read I listened to the audiobook Revan while cutting the lawn. It was awful. It was like, here, this is how I'm going to tie all of these things together. Yeah, I mean, yeah, KOTOR's great. I just didn't enjoy like the Revan novel, and I think there was one other I was listening to, and I don't remember what it was, but it was just, and no, there were parts of the Revan novel I liked. I think Darth Scourge or something. He's a True Blood Sith in the Empire that's like ends up teaming up with Mitra Surik or something, and I'm like, oh, see, this guy's kind of cool, and like some of the details on him were really great, and then the story was just like, I mean, I know the story was literally meant to like bring you up to the SWOTOR game story, but it was a little disappointing. I wasn't a huge fan. And why am I here now? Okay. Equip types. No, I've been trying to get my wife to play Knights of the Republic, and I think it might just be too old of a game for new players to pick up without having the nostalgia already there. I don't know. I really love it. Fix it. You were going to do a D&D 3.5 mashup. Enter hyperspace, have an emergency, drop out on a universe, force to crash and land on a planet, and do a one-shot to get a material to fix the hyperdrive and jump back through the rift. That is... I mean, I literally am actually running a story like that right now, except we didn't drop out. We didn't change systems to do this, but... yeah, no, they got pulled out by a mass shadow. Yeah, like a mass shadow that was like there's an interdictor field around this planet for no good reason, and the planet's been isolated since the Jedi Civil War. It's all a dream, but in the common area of the ship, I would have a magical item in the Star Wars game, like a bag of holding or deck of many things. Change the Star Wars class to D&D. One's droid is an iron golem. I could see why you'd. I don't know. This is something I don't feel like I would do, just because it feels like a lot of work for the players, and like I don't know. My players are all very casual, so like I was saying earlier, I mentioned that one of the droid players had read the rule book. I said that specifically because the rest of the players have not read the rules. Some of them have read like parts of the Pathfinder rulebook, but most of them are I taught them how to play Pathfinder, and that's what they know about tabletop games, and they kind of just they wing it a lot, and I have to say I love that. I love how like unhindered they are by the rules because they're like willing to try things that I think if you're coming from a rule first perspective where you're like, these are the things I'm good at, these are the things I'm bad at, you act one way, and if you are like, hey, I have a character and I'm doing stuff, you act a different way, and they act that other way where they're just like trying stuff, and we bend the rules a lot. So like one really great example is there was a like a sandcrawler type machine on Dantooine, and I had like a dungeon lined up where they were going to go through the whole sandcrawler and fight their way to the top. And one of the characters in the Mandalorian, he goes, I jetpack to the roof, and like, so I'm not checking like, can he make it based on how far his jetpack goes. I'm just like, yeah, okay, you make it to the roof. He goes, I drop a thermal detonator in the top hatch. There's a top hatch, right? I'm like, yeah, there's a top hatch. I just really enjoyed like the improv, more of the improv bits of it, and I really do try to kind of like let them do that. I prefer that, I think, over to like being really like into the rules and like, you know, I like the more crunchy rule stuff too, but this group I really love playing with just because we are not that. And we let's see. Yeah, here it is. So when we don't have all of our players, I run. Well, we all take turns running other things. So like we had a one shot where we were investigating a crashed Sith ship and whatever. But what I've been running when it's my turn to run, when we don't have enough people for the other game, is I've been running this game called Eat the Reich. And it's based on the Havoc system, and it's incredibly narrative. So like the combat is like, kind of imagine like, you know, when you're playing Risk and you roll dice against each other, but there's a lot more rules to it. Obviously, it's not just like comparing rolls. And after you find out like how much you succeed or fail, you're supposed to like narrate what you do, and they just like glommed onto that and they love it. And I'm encouraging that now in my Star Wars game, and it's really fucking fun. Like they're just like really loving it. So my main players still play 3.5. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if they already have that context, that makes sense. I only know Swissy kind of. Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely about your players enjoying themselves, and I feel like if I was very strict on the rules, like, I'm sorry, but this sand crawler is 25 feet tall and your jetpack goes 20, like, that's not any fun for anybody. Like, he kind of ruined my planning for the session because it was a 3-story, like I had like the internal map of the sand crawler was a 3-story thing, and I had set up in Foundry so you could like look down from the top level and see the bottom level, and it was pretty cool. And he's just like completely bypassed it, but it was so fucking cool that I'm just like, I don't care. I do not care. Like, and I think that's important too. Like, you have to come into running games with like we want to be in our favorite movie and do epic shit. And that's exactly what Swissy is about. That's why I love the system so much. It's so like the whole skill challenge system in this game, most other games don't have a thing like that, and I now steal the skill challenge system for those other games. And they might have something similar, but they don't have anything that like aims to be cinematic in the same way, and it's so good. And there's plenty of things wrong with Swissy, but like that is really fantastic. But yeah, no, I definitely encourage, suggest though that Eat the Right game, just because, or I assume other games in the Havoc system are similarly RP intensive. It's a good break from crunchy games for a more RP heavy. It's not really RP heavy though. It's more like like that specifically, you're playing as vampires killing Nazis. So like the idea, you don't have the bad guys are like you can kill them without feeling bad. So you can kind you can be a little a little you can elaborate a little bit on the destruction. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, you should. You should. It's fantastic. No, I think everybody who plays tabletop games needs to just like play more different tabletop games. All right, I gotta figure out why this is not updating correctly. Is driving me nuts. We update the object. Yeah, we get here. We update the object. We take the data. That all seems fine. Hmm. It looks like it's updating. Why isn't it updating? Uh, Wait, is it actually... Wait, why is this over here again? Hmm. And it's back. Why? If I click here... Energy shield. And it's over here. Why is it unequipping? That makes no sense. They're different fields. They're not related. Is it somehow wiping out system? Oh, wait a minute. I think this is what broke it. Alright, I got an idea. I go like that. Okay, what are the changed? Okay, is changing that, is changing the type is still armor though. Why is it trying to change the type? You know what? I'm just going to go if this dot type doesn't equal changed dot type, then we're going to set that to recursive false, and why is this yellow? I don't know. Why don't you like me? Oh, I see. Because it's JavaScript, you want the double equals. Got it. All right, let's give that a try. Equipment. Custom energy shield. It is an energy shield. Light armor. Let's switch to light armor real quick. I think that hunch just paid off. That looks right. Yep. I was just thinking I could probably also do a regular live stream just going through books that I have on the shelf that I would love to play. God, I have so many Pathfinder 1 books, and now I've started buying Pathfinder 2 books, and I'm like, do I need these? No, but it's Starfinder 2 compatible, so I kind of want them. All right. I think that fixes that problem. Okay. Now I want to figure out why this isn't working. Alright, so we have a... Okay, well, let's add another one just so I have something to compare it to. Item flex row. Huh. Checkbox data type is disabled, but I think that's correct. Is it reading too much into this disabled thing? It might be. Yeah, I'm working on it now. I like my backlog of games and such, which is funny because as I do that, I just keep adding to it. I started a new job back in April, and I got a couple of coworkers that I really like hanging out with, and I've been trying to get us to play the Battlestar Galactica board game, But every time we don't have enough players show up because somebody has some. We've tried twice, and both times there's been some kind of emergency where someone's like, I can't make it today. But I think we're going to get there pretty soon. But each time we play something else that I haven't played in ages, or I play brand new stuff, and then I go buy the stuff, and now I just have more things on my shelf. It's, but I mean, hey, I can't complain. My mother-in-law bought me Race for the Galaxy because I had such a fun time playing it. I mentioned it to my wife, said, hey, if someone needs a last-minute gift for me for Christmas, and she did. Schedule, yeah, it's true. Um, yeah, I'm like not even sure I want to schedule this month or just try for February because everyone's already so busy. And a lot of those same people are like, "Hey, so like you run D&D and stuff, right?" I'm like, "I do. What's your point?" Cuz like I don't know if I have the bandwidth, man. I have way too many hobbies going on at once, and yeah, it's just okay, so aren't you clickable? An item control. Okay. No, that's not it. Yep. Yep. And so I mean, luckily a lot of my like I do also have like woodworking and like I do my own like I redid this base. Well, I mostly did I haven't finished redoing this basement. I got distracted and I have to come back to it. But and that's the other problem is I like ADHD is also an issue like where if I'm not interested in the thing today, it's not. There's no point in trying because I'm not going to be very good at doing it. Um, and that's one of the things down here. Like I have like some trim to finish up there, but I haven't cared about it, so it's not important to me yet. And if I wake up on the right weekend, I'll just be like, oh, I can do that today, but it hasn't happened yet. Yep, yep, absolutely. Okay, let's try another approach. Oh, it's not letting me get any closer than that, is it? Input type checkbox. Data type disabled. Okay, input type checkbox. Nah, it doesn't look right. Hmm. I'm curious if I come in here and I remove this disabled class, can I click it again? I can. It really does not like that. Man, Polyglot is so. So the problem with Polyglot is that its loading was moved in a different spot in the load order, and certain things that I assumed were ready when I wrote it are not ready anymore. So I have to figure out why that is. But and that's what this is. That's this scramble string thing is Polyglot trying to figure out how to do its thing. Okay, that's what that is. How do I search CSS? Yeah, the problem is, well, those should be merged one, but I think that that's being used now by Foundry, and that's no good. So let's go disabled. I'm gonna have to look through all that. All right, I know normally I go to 11. It's been a long day. I got work in the morning. I'm gonna call it here. The Lubriderm, I thank you so much for hanging out and chatting all night. I've had a wonderful time, honestly, and yeah, no problem. Hey, this is something I do because I enjoy it. But yeah, like I'm nodding a little bit here. So yeah, no, I appreciate you being here on in the chat and talking some tabletop with me because man, I did have a really great time tonight. So thank you. So yeah, have a good night. I will set one of these up again soon. So I will see you later.